Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I am the professor and welcome to my channel. If you have not subscribed, I hope that you will, because I often bring to you information and analysis that you will not find anywhere else. Now, you will recall that a few months ago, when the Canadian government issued a number of sanctions against a number of people, and I made a video basically stating that Jean-Henri Seyon, the former prime minister of Haiti, is not one of the members of the political elite who have been supporting gang or paying for gang members to terrorize the Haitian people. And so, of course, I have gotten a lot of calls from a number of people who thought that my statements stating really the obvious was somewhat daring. But I like to be right. You know, most people like to be right, but I take pleasure on being right, at least on not being the first person, or at least on not being the only person who have seen differently. Now, I want to remind you as you're watching this video clearly how I did my analysis. Sometime a year ago, after the murder of Jovenel Moïse, we had several meetings with some high-level official in the Dominican government, which was probably one of the best intelligence service in Haiti. And we were shown a list of people whose name appeared on the list as those who were supporting or paying for gangs to terrorize the people. And of course, Jean-Henri Seyon's name was not on the list. So of course I was surprised when the Canadian government, at least when Prime Minister Trudeau, during his visit in Africa, basically said that Mr. Seyon would be one of the people that would be sanctioned. So this week, February 21st, there's an organization called Human Rights Without Borders. This is an international organization, very well-known organization for defending human rights. They have office in Geneva and a whole bunch of places around the world. Certainly, the organization has conducted its own investigation. This is a lot more than we can say about the Canadian government, which actually did no investigations at all. They conducted their own investigation. They went to Haiti. They had delegations in Haiti. They spoke to a lot of people. They interviewed a lot of people. And then they prepared a report, which they submit to the High Commissioner for Human Rights at the United Nations. They have an office in Geneva. The report was sent to the United Nations at the Geneva office. I have read the report, and I'm glad to report to you that they have concluded basically the same thing that I have concluded, that in fact, the Canadian government has been playing a political game where they seek to eliminate people they believe could be a political challenge for certain people in power. Now, I want to get to the bottom of this. Why would the Canadian government sanction people that have nothing to do with supporting gangs? And the answer is very simple. The Canadians are playing politics. There are certain people that they believe to be somewhat hostile to their own interest in Haiti, and they would love to be able to eliminate these people. Now, we in the Haitian diaspora, we're not stupid. People in Haiti are not stupid. They could see through the game. And I'm hoping that each and every one of you understand this game. So let's talk about the report very briefly. The report that they issued say, one, that the Canadian government has absolutely no evidence at all, no legal basis to conclude that both Seyon and another former Prime Minister, Laurent Lamotte, have been supporting gangs. In fact, they said that both Seyon and Lamotte actually fought to prevent the gang from taking over while they were prime minister. And if you will remember that gang violence in Haiti have taken a different turn after the murder of Jovenel Moïse. Of course, there were kidnapping, there were certain people that were targeted for assassination, but it wasn't as bad as it is today. And it got worse under Ariel Henry. The question that I have for the Canadian government, for the Canadian ambassador, why would you sanction someone that you know is not involved in supporting gang violence, while you are supporting someone in office who are by far either unwilling or unable to protect the Haitian people from gang violence? Why are you supporting Ariel Henry? Because obviously Ariel Henry had an opportunity to fight the gangs. He's not doing it. But you haven't taken a position on that. You actually want to sanction people who actually try to do the work. So obviously the Canadian has their own plan for Haiti. They have their own interest. And that is the reason why they sanction Henri Seillant. Now, let me say this to you. Right now, this report is making the news now all over Europe, where I'm currently. I'm in Paris right now. This report is all over the place. And the High Commissioner for Human Rights at the United Nations had been giving a copy of it. And I'm hoping that they will make a decision to call off Canada on the carpet for playing political maneuvering, for playing a political games with Haiti. So hopefully the United Nations will take a stand. But no matter what the United Nations does, this is a cat, when it's out of the bag, you can't put it back. They have certainly attempted to destroy the reputations of some very, very few good people that we have in Haiti that could potentially, eventually help us solve the problem that is Haiti. And Jean-Henri Seillant is one of these people. He's an attorney. He's a well-renowned guy. He's never been involved in any sort of corruption that I know of. So I was very surprised that his name was part of this. Now, and I have to say this, guys, you could blame people for anything you want. You could blame me for a number of things. You could blame former Prime Minister Laurent Lamotte. You could blame former Prime Minister Jean-Henri Seillant. None of us is perfect. We all have issues that I think people could blame us for. Jesus wasn't perfect, and people blame Jesus for a lot of things. So you can blame us. But I think that in blaming people, it always makes sense to blaming for things that they are responsible for, things they actually have done. But I think when a country like Canada comes out and say a former government official willingly, with intent to kill the very people that he was supposed to protect, is giving money to gangs members to rape, to kidnap, to kill, it's not just enough to just say it, unless it's a political coup, unless it's a political maneuver, unless you're trying to destroy someone's reputation. And I think that what Canada is doing right now to these two former prime ministers are what we call characters assassination. Certainly, there've got to be damages, because both of these guys, especially Seillant, I know, there's been some damages done to his reputation. Certainly, I don't believe it, and I know a lot of other people don't believe it, but there've been some damages. And I think that Canada should be responsible for those damages. Now, I hope that people understand that for me, it's a question of principle. It's not a question about whether I like someone, whether I don't like someone, whether I have political differences with them. As you all know, I work in Martelly's campaign, and I helped elect Martelly. I know Laurent Lamotte very well. At one point, Laurent Lamotte was a friend of mine, but we did have some differences. And I believe that the report that says he was never involved in supporting gangs is true. You could blame Laurent Lamotte for other things. And I'm not saying that the man is perfect. All I'm saying is, when you come out publicly and making accusations against a former government official, it's not enough to just say it. You have to have the evidence. Now that the International Human Rights Without Borders have conducted their own investigations, made their own ruling, and submit this report to the High Commissioner for Human Rights at the United Nations, I'm hoping that the United Nations will actually take a step towards fairness. And what it means is Canada has to do two things, okay? Either the Canadians are going to come with evidence that Saillant or Lamotte, both of them had been paying, supporting gangs for killing Haitian people. In that case, the Haitian people would have a case against both of these gentlemen. Bring the evidence, let us see it. If they're not going to bring the evidence, at least they ought to issue a public apology, because politics is a dirty game. I think there are limits to doing things, but when you're trying to destroy somebody's reputation based on the most heinous crime a person can actually commit, which is murder, or even just killing innocent women and children. This is some serious stuff. And I hope that you and I understand the game and you will take it for what it is. But the Canadians have some explaining to do. We'd like to know who's behind it. Thank you for watching The Professor. Don't forget to subscribe.